This is Small Biz Florida, the podcast designed and produced specifically for Florida small business owners and entrepreneurs. Small Biz Florida, talk that works for Florida. This podcast is supported by the Florida SBDC Network, providing the tools, strategies, and expertise to help Florida's business community thrive. Visit the Florida SBDC online at www.floridasbdc.org or contact your local office and get started on your path to success today.
This is Tom Kindred, and welcome to another segment and installment of Small Biz Florida, the podcast and broadcast that's all things business across the Treasure Coast and the entire state of Florida. Small Biz Florida is brought to you by the Florida Small Business Development Center Network and is produced by the Florida SBDC right here at Indian River State College. Small Biz Florida is designed and produced to highlight and promote business assistance resources, celebrate entrepreneurial success, present best practices, and most importantly, provide timely business information for Florida's small business community. I am Tom Kindred, your host, and of course, former small business owner and operator. So again, welcome to this evening's segment and installment of Small Biz Florida right here from WPSL and WSTU. And we've got with us a great guest tonight. I am very excited about this guest. I'm excited about what he is doing in the community, and most especially very excited to have him as part of the Florida SBDC at IRSC team of credentialed and seasoned consultants. I'd like to introduce and welcome our newest consultant with the SBDC, Mr. Duane Reiff. Welcome to the show, Duane.
Thank you, Tom. Good to be here.
So, Duane, as I always do, excited to talk about what you're doing for the SBDC here at Indian River State College. But let's start with just a little bit of background on yourself, kind of your pathway. Your organization is Global Source International. So a little bit of your pathway to Global Source International and a little bit of your pathway to the Florida SBDC here at IRSC.
Sure. So I have been blessed in my career to have some really cool positions with VP in sales and marketing with some national and global companies. Been able to do some large books of business in national and global and work with a lot of international business around the world and traveled over 45 countries. And about 6 years ago, I started my own company, Global Source International, providing consulting services to the small and medium-sized business community. And then recently I came on board with the SBDC and really excited and looking forward to working with the manufacturing firms in our region.
Yeah, of course, what led to all of this was I think Pete Tesh was, I think he was even a guest on our show right here, Small Biz Florida. And Pete talked about the phenomenal growth of manufacturing jobs and manufacturing establishments along the Treasure Coast. I won't try to repeat the statistic, but there was a large jump in manufacturing jobs. And so, we already have a group of specialists within the ranks of the SBDC here at Indian River State College. We've got a government contracting specialist, international trade specialist, capital access specialist. And, I think when Pete talked about the manufacturing community and the increase in manufacturing jobs and establishments, I really connected with an idea. And I said, you know what, we really need to have someone who understands, kind of thoroughly understands and is engaged in this manufacturing space. So that's how we connected to you, and you're now a part of the team here at the SBDC. But talk about the region's manufacturing community. Growing, expanding, as Pete said. What's your take? What's your overview of it?
Sure, absolutely. There's definitely a lot of growth, a lot of expansion, not only within the existing manufacturers, but there's new manufacturing companies looking to relocate that are relocating. I think we have a wide, diverse group of manufacturing, from aircraft manufacturing to aircraft parts and engines to boat manufacturing, boat components. We also have a large presence of food and beverage production, fabrication, specialty manufacturers that have really interesting niches, as well as agricultural products. And I think as we see recently, one of our partners just was in the news, they're adding 150 new employees. And I think that adds to the growth and the robustness of our area in the Treasure Coast.
Yeah, and you kind of touched on, one of my questions was the diversity of our manufacturing community. I mean, really, when you think about it, I mean, we've got Piper, in the north of our region in Vero, been manufacturing planes for years up in Vero. Down south, we've got manufacturing aircraft parts, high-end aircraft parts, a lot of defense contracts that are down in Martin. St. Lucie County, I kind of described the other day as becoming the boat coast. I mean, we've got some very high-end, very high-valued brands of boats being manufactured in St. Lucie County. The Maverick, a legacy brand in flats boats. We've got Twin V. We've got Pursuit. And then, of course, the big news, Contender is coming to our area. So you're right. I mean, really diverse group of manufacturers. And, of course, I can't drive down 95 without seeing Tamco's beautiful new facility off of 95. So, yeah, speak again just a little bit about that diversity in our manufacturing community.
Sure. I think it's what's exciting about that is it brings in high-paying jobs. It brings in highly skilled jobs. It brings in a lot of diversity. And I think the growth that we're seeing there, just when you look at one manufacturing company, they don't exist by themselves. So they have suppliers. They have raw material suppliers. They have other industries, professional services that have to pour into their needs. And I think that brings in a whole ecosphere of business that comes with one manufacturer relocating or growing or have substantial growth. And I think when we look at, 2020 was a difficult year for a lot of people. But when you look at the construction boom that we're seeing, the relocation we're seeing of companies coming into Florida, we're in a huge growth mode. I think real estate is really booming. Construction is off the charts. And I think the manufacturing components that come with that are, we're just set up for some incredibly growing days ahead and some incredible times of growth.
Yeah, I agree. So let's talk about the actual space of manufacturing just for a minute. Of course, so often when you use the word manufacturing, people get the image of that, the old smokestack, kind of your granddaddy's manufacturing. And this is not where we are today. While certainly there are some of that heavy manufacturing still left in our country, the majority of what we're seeing are really very modernized manufacturing facilities in our area. Now we're referring to this kind of as advanced manufacturing. What is considered under that term, advanced manufacturing? Sure.
I think advanced manufacturing is the use of innovative technology to create existing products and the creation of new products. And it's a way to look at, it's not how we manufacture things 50, 60 years ago. There's a new process. There's a new way to do it. There's a clean way to do it. Another way to describe advanced manufacturing is the rapid transfer of science and technology into the manufacturing of products and processes. So it's not necessarily just the actual products, how they're being manufactured, but it's the process. How are they being manufactured? Right. Or you could just say it's focusing on using cutting-edge technology. What's the best way? What's the quickest way? What's the most productive way? Advanced manufacturing can include production activities that depend on information automation, computer technologies, right, high-performance computing, software sensing, and networking. And what I like about advanced manufacturing, it allows for the ability to scale the manufacturing with high or low production rates. That's really important. As we've seen in the last 12, 18 months, we've had some really severe supply chain situations that we've all dealt with, whether it's food supply, the infamous toilet paper situation, right, and having the ability to scale up high or low volume production rates. I think advanced manufacturing also includes a very strong focus on quality control, lean production technology, supply chain integration, and advanced scheduling and planning. Those are all spheres, part of the process of the manufacturing that becomes critical to actually getting a great product to the client or to the end user. And you could say that advanced manufacturing also links them to think and do faster. How are we going to do this faster? How are we going to do this better? How can we perform this month better than last month? You know, and if you do that, that will lead to decreased cost and increased productivity.
Wow. I feel like I was just in some sort of mini advanced manufacturing class. Incredible, Duane. I mean, that really is great information. I mean, to try to understand how this whole manufacturing space has really changed and been updated. Give us some examples of advanced manufacturing.
Sure.
What are they making?
You know, I think some examples are that we all know about. You know, electric vehicles, robotics, anything where we can automate the process, air structures, medical devices, pharmaceuticals, rapid prototyping. You know, that's really important. It used to be, you know, to get a prototype could take 6, 8, 10, 12 months. You know, now you focus on some rapid prototyping. You can.
So that's like 3D printing?
Correct.
Right.
Correct. You know, 3D printing, getting actually to have something tangible as quickly as possible, so you can actually see, does it work? Does the client like it? Does it have a market impact? Those are very critical to be able to move quickly and react quickly versus just spending a lot of money and hoping something works someday, hoping the client likes it, hoping the market adapts. Having that ability to tact daily and move the ship daily instead of, you know, try to run your business in the rears where you're closing out 2 months ago on your P&L sheet and then trying to adjust accordingly. Having lifetime data points, having lifetime real KPIs that you can manage and look at daily is a key performance of the advanced manufacturing. Nice.
You know, I had the opportunity a couple of years ago to attend a 3D printing symposium up at Florida State University, and I remember Boeing made a presentation, and this was kind of early on in the 3D printing, but Boeing said, you know, we're not using 3D printing technology because it's cool. We're using it because it's helping us be more efficient and save money. So I mean, they were clear about 3D printing. I mean, it's making a difference in manufacturing. So why do we need this advanced manufacturing process?
Sure, I think it's really important to understand that advanced manufacturing is the use of innovative technologies and methods to improve the competitiveness of manufacturing. How are we going to compete? How can we compete on the global scale? How can we compete with other manufacturers around the world who may have lower labor costs, or lower freight costs, depending on where you're going in the global market? And so, making sure that you're competitive. I think the purpose of advanced manufacturing is to enhance output, which increases the added value of the products. It's not a matter of just focusing on the product, because then that becomes a commodity. But how do you add value to the products? How do you improve the quality of products? How can you allow them to last longer? That's very important in the aircraft industry. Right. And I think it's important that it consolidates the resilience and flexibility of the market. We've seen obviously again in 2020 and with COVID that you've had to be very resilient. You've had to be flexible. The market changes, and I think it's important moving forward as things change. What we think is going to happen tomorrow may or may not happen. We have to plan accordingly. Right. And having that ability and flexibility to adjust quickly, I think, is paramount. I think another definition that I like of advanced manufacturing is that it extensively uses computers, high precision and information technologies, integrated with a high-performance workforce capable of producing a mix of products in small or large volumes with both the efficiency of mass production and the flexibility of custom manufacturing in order to respond quickly to the demands of the customer. Now, that's a long kind of definition, but I love the part where it focuses on a high-performance workforce. Yeah. And that's what we have here in the Treasure Coast. We have high-performance workforce. I think we have the capabilities to train. We have the tools in place to bring the talent to the table that each company needs, because there are specialties. There are, and when you get into a specialty subset, that comes with a higher paying job offering and a career, and it's a way to move up in the company. And I think that's the most exciting thing. I think that the advanced manufacturing brings a need and a demand and an opportunity for a high performance workforce to get jobs and to keep jobs long term, to raise their family, to have professional goals, personal goals, and see them to come to fruition.
Yeah, and that's something we actually, through our corporate training group here at the college, we we have provided what was an MSSC certified program called the Certified Production Technician, which allowed folks to go through a course that gave them entry-level skills for the advanced manufacturing field. And that's exactly what we told students that would go through that program. We said, look, these aren't just jobs, these are careers. I mean, you know, these are long-term careers when you get a job with one of these companies. And of course, Piper just recently, over the last couple of years, but just recently is launching another round of their apprenticeship program. And I love the way Piper described that program. They said, we're looking for tomorrow's leaders at Piper. I mean, someone that comes out of this apprenticeship program could be CEO one day. So it really is. It's a great opportunity to enhance the workforce and an opportunity for people to get a solid, great job. I love the part about where you mentioned competitiveness, that advanced manufacturing processes improve our competitiveness. And you know, when I think about that, you know, I think about the combination of resources that the SBDC brings to the business community, and we talked about it a little earlier. You know, government contracting, international trade, access to capital. When you walk into a manufacturer to bring business consulting through the SBDC, it's really not just you. I mean, you're walking in with this incredible tool bag, for lack of a better word. Talk a little bit about bringing all those resources into an operation.
Sure, absolutely. And to me, that's what gets me really excited, is how can we add value to the local business, whether it's small or medium size. And I love that. And that's what the SBDC can provide and is providing. And I actually, just this morning, I had a conversation with a local manufacturing firm, and they're super excited. And I told them about some of the offerings that we can do, you know, whether it's export, being able to help them. How can we take their business and their products and or services abroad? How can you work with the U.S. Commercial Service and make that happen? That's kind of overwhelming if you haven't exported before. How can you also, a huge value added is the government procurement. And I talked with them, and we're going to be meeting next week to be able to discuss government procurement, whether it's at the state and local levels or the federal government, whether it's military or government contracts. Those are overwhelming. How do you do that? I've never done that before. But I told them, I said, that's a huge benefit because there is a barrier to entry. So not everyone's doing that. Not everybody wants to or is capable. And so right. But you need to know how to do it. And so when you have the experts that we have at the SBDC, to be able to come inside their company and see what they need and walk them through the government procurement process, that's a huge advantage. Right. I think access to capital is another benefit, working right. with the SBA and being able to have access to capital through private funding, but maybe in means and ways where normal traditional lending has been turned down or said no to. Whether you're looking to grow for, you know, capital access for growth, to grow your business, to grow, right. add additional line in the manufacturing facility, or bring in some automation that will help with quality right. control, that will help with competitiveness. And I think having that, or even spending some money to train your employees, to get them certified on specific subsets of what you're doing and your side of your expertise. And I think, to me, being able to have these opportunities at your fingertips, that you can come in and provide this value, and the price is right.
Yeah.
You know,
the price is right.
It
yes.
really is. And that's what people think. They're like, well, I can't afford that. And I think adding value, and they realize, hey, SBDC that comes in and adds value, there's no charge. I think another a big point that I talked about this morning is, you know, we have access to some great demographic studies and informational databases that we can come in and do specific database runs and demographic studies per specific manufacturing components and market subsets, where you can come in and give a very detailed report on this is what we're doing. That helps on the marketing, that helps on the sales side, it helps on the R&D side when you're looking at, hey, where's the market going? Because I think, you know, having the flexibility to respond quickly to the demands of the customer. What happened last year doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen this year. What's going to happen next year? How can you react quickly? How can you be proactive instead of reactive? And that's what I told all the clients that I work with, that, you know, it's a lot cheaper to be proactive than reactive, and plan ahead, you know, and understand where the ball is going to be, not, you know, try to figure out where it is today. Let's figure out where it's going to be, you know, right. Kind of the infamous Wayne Gretzky hockey quote, you know, he always went to where the puck was going to be. Right. And I think that's very, very applicable to business, is where is the market going to be tomorrow? And we better be able to have the tools in place and the professionals around us. I think as a business owner, as a local partner in the business, if they can know that they have professionals that they can partner with, and they can come alongside and say, hey, I need help. Can you walk me through getting this loan? I need help. Can you help me? I want to export into Latin America. I need some help, and what's some ways to cut corners? I think the best way is to partner with people who have been there, done that, and made mistakes on someone else's dime and can prevent mistakes. There's a part of the things we know, things we don't know, and then the things we don't know that we don't know.
Right.
And, I'm not that smart of a person. My IQ is low single digits.
Yeah.
But I love to surround myself with people that are smart. And I think sometimes people get intimidated by bringing in an outside consultant or bringing in someone who, they're going to tell them everything that's wrong. But it's not. It's a partnership. It's how can we work together? How can we're pulling in the same direction. How can we focus the goals that you have for your specific company and grow? That's the goal. How can we add jobs to the Treasure Coast? Can we add revenue? Can we add capital access? Because with that becomes a whole subset of business professionals that have to pour into these companies, that have to support the companies from a community relationship. And what I love about small to medium-sized companies is they give back to the community. They give back, and they want to make the community a better place. They want to help underprivileged. They want to help people that need help. They want to help make the schools better, help the education system, and give back into the teachers. And to me, that's what's a lot of fun. Give back into athletics and sports, whether it's baseball, t-ball, soccer, and help the younger kids enjoy sports. And then they realize that hey, that came from where their mom and dad works. And I think that's exciting. You have the small nucleus of community partners that help each other grow. And to me, I think the SBDC does a great job of that.
Listen, we need to turn that into an SBDC commercial. I love it. I think you're going to be a pretty popular guy potentially around these parts, Duane. We really appreciate having your experience, your expertise as part of the team. And prior to creating this manufacturing specialist position here at the SBDC, we did a little bit of a focus group with a dozen or so manufacturers. And, I expected to hear one thing from those manufacturers, but what we really heard was exactly what you said, that, look, we're looking to grow and expand. We're looking for new markets. We're looking to increase revenue so that we can, increase the jobs and expand our facilities here along the Treasure Coast. So, again, I think like I said, I think you're going to be pretty popular because I think there's a lot of conversations that people want to have about expanding and growing those manufacturing operations around the Treasure Coast.
Good. I'm happy to be here to help it anyway.
Yeah, so I know it's a little new, but how does one get in touch with you? Do you have your website and your business cards and your email set up yet with the SBDC?
I do.
Okay.
You can call the SBDC office at 772-336-6285, or you can email me directly at Duane, Duane.Reiff, R-E-I-F-F, so Duane.Reiff at FloridaSBDC.org.
Beautiful. I love it. Efficient. We're like advanced manufacturing here. You are set up and ready to produce, Duane.
Absolutely.
I love it. Again, Duane, I can't wait. You're off and running. As you mentioned, you've already begun to meet with some local manufacturers, and we appreciate that. And listen, we recognize that this is a big part of our marketplace today. And as you said, we're trying to be where the puck's going to be too. We recognize that this is something important, and we've got to have some expertise on the ground to help these manufacturers. So we appreciate you joining the team.
I'm happy to be here, and thanks for your time today.
Yes, sir. And it is Duane Reiff, our new manufacturing specialist here with the Florida SBDC at Indian River State College. So looking to get him out in the field, and stay tuned with us. We'll be right back with more Small Biz Florida.
This has been Small Biz Florida, created and produced by the Florida Small Business Development Center at Indian River State College. Your host for Small Biz Florida is Tom Kindred. Partners for Small Biz Florida include WPSL and WSTU and Indian River State College, named the 2019 winner of the Aspen Prize for Community College Excellence.